Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grip Lock, Foundation Disc Golf's weekly podcast. I'm Hunter, joined as always by Trevor and Konner.
Hit him with it.
Decent bit to talk through this episode.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's off season, so some of it's just going to be, just bulling with the boys. But there is some movement going on. There's also some rumored movement. And we also got a little update on the dog situation from Lone Star. So a lot of stuff you want to talk to. But first, we're going to hit it with a Patreon question of the week.
Come on, Hunt.
This comes from patreon.com/Foundation Disc Golf, where you can actually become a free member if you want to get a little taste and see what we got going on over there. But
it's totally worth it, guys. It's awesome.
This question comes from our weekly podcast over there called the Mailbag, which is basically we answer a bunch of questions. Every question that gets asked, we answer to the best of our ability each and every week. There's also bonus videos. There's unboxings. You get early access to disc drops. You get discount codes.
Behind the scenes pictures.
You get access to the Heiser Club store, which recently we had a mustard yellow shirt drop in honor of Konner breaking 86 over there. So
come on.
A lot of fun stuff going down. Be sure to check that out. Again, that's patreon.com/Foundation Disc Golf. But this week's
behind the scenes vlog, is that also on there? Where does that go?
Yep, that's also on Patreon. Cool. This question comes from Nate McLean. And he said,
Nate?
Who is one player you're most confident will get their first Pro Tour win next season?
Anthony Barella.
Hunter and I agreed on this one.
That's a great answer. I'm changing mine.
Oh,
sorry.
AB,
I'll take it then. We were trying to think through.
AB was in contention so much.
We were trying to think through who hadn't had one. Konner and I landed on Alden Harris because we said silver event win doesn't really count.
I would say Ezra has a better shot.
I like Alden and AB.
Because Ezra would finish higher in the standings than Alden did, just a little bit.
Ezra Aderhold?
No.
Ezra Robinson. That's also a good one. I was thinking Ezra Aderhold.
Aderhold's not. There's a good crop.
I was like, well, the problem is Ezra Aderhold. They just took Las Vegas Challenge off the tour, and that might have been his only chance.
I think of if there were betting odds, I think AB would have to be.
AB slipped my mind completely.
Well,
That's definitely
Konner has a vendetta.
Yeah, Konner does hate AB. So
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It doesn't surprise me it slipped his mind, but that's a great answer.
He did not.
It makes sense as a player, yeah.
AB, man. Konner doesn't like you, but we love you. That's matching hoodie, boys. We love AB.
Why are you guys doing this right now?
Have we talked about
I don't know. It's off-season grip lock. There's no rules.
I tell you why. This show is a little bigger than you think it is.
It bugs me, man. It bugs me.
I genuinely like AB.
I was about to say, have we not talked about yet how we missed him on the Grippy for biggest choke?
We have not addressed it.
Not addressed that?
Because that really the biggest choke should be rewritten to us for missing him.
I think we're going to have to write in another biggest choke award, and it was us missing AB as the biggest. That was the dumbest thing we've ever done.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's up there.
Biggest choke.
That was so dumb.
Now, shortly after we recorded the podcast last week, Westside Discs dropped a pretty big announcement.
The curse is alive.
Matty signed a 4-year extension with Westside. As of me planning this show, there had been no details about his contract release. I'll double check that again. But
may I please say?
You may say, please.
That video announcing it
controversial.
Is my favorite video that's ever been attached to disc golf. I'll pick a side. That video was so good. It was well produced. It was hilarious.
If you do think about it, it doesn't quite make sense. Like, why was Westside holding him hostage and then they released him back to their team?
It was just fun.
Yeah, I don't really care.
It's just fun.
The storyline didn't make sense.
It was a comedy. It was like a skit.
No, I agree. It was very well produced.
Mm-hmm. Good job, Westside.
And it was a good build the suspense.
If you rip
reveal
a bag
the player
off of Matty-O's head and he's he's just like, I'm always in.
Now that I think about it, Matty-O always looks like he just had a bag ripped off his head.
It does.
I'm imagining Westside was not expecting there to be any pushback, and there wasn't much pushback at all.
It was hilarious.
But
it was such a funny video. It made me laugh, made me excited. I was like, I didn't know I cared this much about this, but it's hilarious.
I'm pretty pumped that we
Danny
got
Lindahl was in there. Come on.
Dude, Danny Lindahl.
The Lindog.
Well, shout out my boy
Lindog.
Gabriel, whatever. I don't remember his last name.
Wow.
Gabe.
Shout out my boy. I don't know his name.
I think his last name is
shout out my boy Konner.
Like Alfredo Diaz or something.
Shoot, what's Connor's last name?
I didn't want to say Alfredo because I don't.
I was about to.
No, it's Serrano. What is it? No, it is. It's Gabriel Alfredo Diaz Serrano. Okay, I was actually on the right track. I know you, Gabe. He was my team manager.
Why didn't you want to say Alfredo?
Because I thought to myself, is that just me being silly? It's Alfredo, guys. But Gabe was my team manager at Dynamic, and he was really cool, and he was the guy that was like the judge or whatever.
But Trevor, you're missing something. I said Danny Lindog.
That is good.
He's got that Danielin dog in him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Matty O will be with Westside for 4 more years. Exciting, what exactly that looks like, we don't know. We don't know the. Yep.
Let's play a game where it's how much money do you think they could? I'm going to keep going higher and higher, and you tell me stop whenever it's an amount that you think this is for all 4 years of his contract, total value of his contract.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me not when you think. When I get to an amount that you're like, there's no way, even in the craziness of disc golf, even in like the contracts we've seen, that they would have given him that amount.
Okay.
So we'll start. What is this? 4 years, 400,000, 500,000, 600,000.
That's where I like to be.
700,000.
Yeah,
that's
I feel like
that's
where I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't think they paid him more than that.
600 is where I like to be. 700 is
if I had to guess, if it would have been. If I had to guess, it's probably 4 years, 400,000 guaranteed with some bonuses.
I bet it's 4 years, $500,000. But I mean, I only say that because we had inklings as to what he was making before, and Matty O was already paid pretty well, and I think that.
Well, we know it can't be, but so high, or else they would have announced it.
I know this much. Good for Matty O, because I know he's about to make really good money over the next few years.
Well, because Dickerson, didn't they announce Dickerson's deal?
I think
you basically just have to look at the precedent and.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say Dickerson's deal in case I know it and I'm not supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I want to make sure they announced it.
It's cool that we got a signing that early in the offseason. Obviously, anytime you see a...
Yeah, okay. $1 million over 4 years. Dickerson's.
Right.
So I feel like had it been at that point or higher, then it would have been announced. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it depends on I think a lot of times the players have say too. Like Matty O just might be the type of guy who does not want, like that's not on brand for Matty O's brand is not I'm a wealthy disc golfer, even though he is, if he wasn't before, which I think he was pretty wealthy, like he's about to be. So like I think he would probably not even want that to go public, but sometimes not up to them either. It's cool that he got extended for 4 years. That's awesome because he's getting into the twilight of his career. He is getting up there in age, even though he's kind of hitting his stride right now.
I love Matty O.
I always like seeing a player move whenever we have a big free agent. Like I would have loved to see Matty O move just because that's as the media people that's what we like. But good for Westside to retain.
Well, the tough part is
player.
Matty O's worth more if he moves. Every player basically who's been with a company for long enough is worth more if they move. Like Eagle McMahon, worth a lot more if he leaves Discmania than if he stays with them.
Because you're getting a new disc with their name on it. Your
Eagle fans
over.
Eagle fans will move and still buy the Eagle plastic, whereas like, and you gain the fans who wouldn't buy Discmania
Matty O
plastic.
Is so cemented in Trilogy.
Yeah,
that is the thing.
Yeah. Another signing was Casaplast re-signed Joseph Anderson.
He was Rookie of the Year candidate, wasn't he?
He is one of the Rookie of the Year nominees.
Thanks.
And his notable finishes this year: 2nd at Kansas City Wide Open, 17th at Maple Hill, and 12th at USDGC. Solid rookie season overall. He had some finishes that weren't so great, but they signed him with a 2-year contract renewal for Casaplast. So, and I thought it was interesting. I screenshot because of the way they worded it. That Casaplast said one of the most rewarding things about being a disc golf manufacturer is the opportunity to grow the movement by helping disc golf players become professional athletes and achieve their dreams. Casaplast is working hard with the new team build and to make it an extended family, an extension of the company, and force no one in the business can ignore. But I just thought the first line was like interesting of like, I don't know. It's the right phrasing, but just like if you're Joseph Anderson, you hear like growing and pushing people like to become a professional athlete, and you're like sitting there as like you just toured, and like I don't know. It just gave me a weird feeling.
Disc golf,
But also Casaplast is now talking very dynamic-y now that they're on the backside of House of Discs.
Well, it's like right now it's like there's almost this tree, the Trilogy tree, if you will, of like you feel like the top guns are really getting signed to Dynamic, and like you could consider Discmania part of that tree as well. Whereas like then you kind of funnel into Latitude, then you funnel into Westside, and I feel like Casaplast, it's like where are they going to fall? Are they going to be able to get some of those people that go kind of that direction? Like who's going to end up making the financial decisions? They're obviously all under House of Discs. And who is deciding, like, is it each individual brand, and then do they have to ask House of Discs, or is it their own finance? Like, I'd be really curious to know how that structure works, and like how they, like, is it the type of thing where they're like, okay, here's a player we all want to target. where do they fit best? Like, it's very interesting.
It is a weird one because I almost feel like from the outside looking in, Castoplast has always been like they're always people throw them for their plastic. They've been historically more expensive, at least in the U.S. because for some reason, even though we get discs from Latitude from Sweden, I think Castoplast has always been in Sweden.
They go to Dynamic first.
But regardless, which now Castoplast will be distributed through Dynamic here recently, which is exciting for as a retailer. It's exciting, but Castoplast has always been like you go there for the plastic, like that's the big draw. Their molds are good, the Berg's good, the Cax is good, the Falk's good. Like they have solid molds, but the big draw is their plastic.
Yeah, I would say one of their draws of the molds is that they have like different molds. They have a lot of unique. Like, people always talk about the Berg, which is obviously unique, but like all of their molds are just a little different. It's like they have a Cax. They're like one of their flagship things, like a 6-speed.
But it almost feels like it's like in cars we see like Toyota and Lexus, right? And they're both turning them out from the same company, but you like market them different. And like the interior is different to where like a high-end Toyota basically is a Lexus, a low-end Lexus basically.
Sure.
But I wonder if Castoplast, like if House of Discs, they've got all of these companies now under them. You have Discmania, you have Trilogy, you have Castoplast. They're all churning out basically from the same machines at this point.
Yeah.
So plastic's all going to keep blending together more and more. It's like in their marketing, I wonder which company they're positioning where, which I think is where the team thing would come in. Because in my head, you could position Castoplast with the pricing and the preconceived thoughts of Castoplast as your like premier best plastic brand. But with the new Supreme plastic being used with all Trilogy, it's a weird line that like now that it's all under someone, I feel like they need to make the brand's identities be like more tiered. If that makes sense.
So do you think that they're still capable of having different plastics for each of those companies
capable? Yes.
Because they each come in with their own ratios of plastic blends and stuff like that?
Well, here's the problem.
I don't think it's happening, though.
I'm going to be straight with you.
Okay.
Most recent run of Castoplast, very Trilogy.
I think...
like the Cax was just a Lucid Cax.
I think when Discmania and Castoplast came in, and I think Discmania has kind of kept this, I think... Discmania came in and Trilogy said, okay, here are the plastics we have. Here's what we're willing to order. Find the blend that you like and make that your plastics. And so that's why I think that when you get a C line, while it does feel Trilogy, it's like a specific blend of Trilogy. It's more of a Lucid Ice.
It's Lucid Ice, yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like they basically chose a Lucid Ice or something very close to it as their C line. And same with S line. It might not be spot on Fusion. Sometimes they come out being very spot on Fusion, but it's pretty close. It might be Fusion. It might be the Fusion Ice or
Royal or whatever it's called.
It's not Royal.
It's not Royal.
Well, what's their special blend?
Their special
S-line
blend is Royal.
Okay.
But I think that's what's almost happening. It's like Trilogy has a menu, and they're like, okay, you can use any of the things we have for your blends, but like this is what we've got. And I think Castoplast, when they first came in, it took a while, but I think now, like the last one that came in, I was kind of like, yeah, that's.
Do you think that? So I realized that like the Supreme discs and the Royal line and a lot of the Lucid Ice, all that stuff, they didn't start coming out with those plastics till after they had bought Discmania.
Yeah.
So do you think?
Well, Lucid Ice, I think was out.
I don't know if that's true.
But the Royal and Supreme,
at least around the same
Royal
time.
and Supreme, they didn't. Yeah.
So do you?
But no, well, we don't know when they bought Discmania.
Well, yeah, but do you think that there's a possibility that
they just bought Discmania last month?
Yeah. Well, yeah. But do you think there's a possibility that they, what you're saying, Trevor, where they're like, oh, you can make your own blend or whatever, and they're like, well, this is too good. Like, we're going to put it in the rest of our companies too.
No, because the Supreme
didn't start with those. That's
Supreme. They have to make like special molds to use.
Okay.
Yeah, Discmania, the first thing we had in an S line plastic was actually the first Cloud Breakers, and they were just dead on Fusion plastic. Like I had one and they were spot on, which was fine. But that's just nowadays. It took, because now if you get a Cloud Breaker, I believe they are using the Royal or Supreme line. So like originally they didn't have that. I don't know, and it's weird it's weird too because like when I talked to Discmania, like a year ago, before they were bought, before they were like even switching over their no, this is when they had just switched over. Like they were still talking a ton about innovating plastic and like experimenting with different things and like different materials. And it's just like, yeah, I wonder what happens to that when you get absorbed like this. And it's kind of like, well, I feel like all that stuff at the very top is not really up to you anymore.
Well, because the weird thing is, let's say that Latitude 64, right, who is the manufacturer. They've always been the biggest disc golf manufacturer. Well, not always, but for a long time, they've been the biggest disc golf manufacturer.
Yeah.
They're now the factory that's churning all this stuff out, right? Even Discmania bought, allegedly, Latitude 64 machines when they moved in next door to them when they were still separate. Like, Latitude is like the guys. So let's say they come up with the next version of Supreme or Royal Line plastic. They come up with the Lucid version of Supreme plastic, right? If you're House of Discs, what do you do with that? You know what I'm saying? Because like right now it feels like, oh, we have it. We can just throw it to everyone under different names.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's where like I think Castoplast already has a slightly higher price point. That's Castoplast plastic. You know what I'm saying? And like start to separate it.
Right. It's overwhelming.
Because like if you're
it's really difficult though. Because if you're
so many brands.
Because if you're Dynamic and Castoplast is the same plastic, but they're making something awesome. What stops you from being like, hey, whatever that is, we want that too?
Because it's not your decision anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore.
But like, yeah,
if you're Toyota, why can't you have all the stuff that makes a Lexus?
Well,
you can. But like it's the market share, because like Toyota's not marketing to people who would buy a Lexus.
Right. It's all about positioning.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all about positioning your product where you want to as the top dog. So like,
that's where I feel like right now the brand identities are all mushing when they need to be separated.
That's what I'm saying. I agree. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's too easy for it just to mush together.
Yeah. They have to try it. They have to certainly try it.
If you're going to mush, just merge.
Because previously, what they're relying on right now with the mergers they've gotten is basically like, we're just going to take Discmania and their fan base and let them operate as they were and just use that. Castoplast. We're going to take them, let them operate as they were basically, and use that fan base. What probably should happen.
Discmania wasn't a full acquisition, right?
I think it was just that they announced it was purchased.
I'll Google it.
But in any case, what I think they should do.
Yeah, they're claiming they remain independent with their own strategy. So who knows what that means?
Blah 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 blah. What they probably should do is be very intentional about where they're positioning brands. Like Hunter, if I were them, I would make. I agree. I would make like one a premium brand. I would make one of your. It's like Discmania having like the active line. I think that's super smart. I think
I would make that a different brand.
Yeah, I would make one like a more budget brand, and then I would take. Let's say you take brands like Latitude and Westside that kind of mush together. I would like really emphasize different, like there's different ways you can layer. You can layer in price point and quality, but you can also layer in just artwork style, which already happens to some extent, but you could go even heavier on it.
Let's turn Westside into Gyro.
Well, yeah, heck, you could do it. You could do a Gyro brand, but like, man, they probably should. But you totally could be like, okay, we're going to go with this brand. We're going to go really heavy art, thought space athletics type stuff where like it's going to appeal to them. This brand, we're going to make all super clean, almost classic Inova style where like they should take each thing and put it in its own arena so that they can all function alongside each other and serve a purpose instead of just like, blending together, because that will start to happen when you're getting all the boxes and they all feel like the same plastic. It's going to be tougher for the branding to stand out.
Well, it's for the last 5 years we've on our website. We just this year split it out because I realized new players don't understand it. But it always just said Trilogy. Because to me, when I got into the sport, Team Trilogy, which is a separate entity, right? But they basically a separate entity, was such a huge thing. Basically, like the Lone Star Ranger team was Team Trilogy, where everyone and their mom was throwing all Trilogy and they were on Team Trilogy.
Yeah.
So to me, Trilogy was just the company. Yeah. Like Dynamic, Latitude, Westside, they were just one. They were one thing. So if you threw them, you threw Trilogy. Period. I didn't know anyone that threw, and I still don't, that throws only Dynamic, only Latitude, or only Westside.
There's no reason to.
No, because you throw all three because there's all one. Well, now I feel like if you take that mindset and then you add in Discmania and Castoplast, that's when things really start getting hairy. Because like, who's to say they're not going to buy out another company here in the next few years? And then like eventually it's just like it's not Trilogy, it's just like quintuple tree, whatever. Right. And everyone just blends together. And I think it's very important to like establish, because in my head, Latitude fits that Inova classy bill.
Yeah, I agree.
So like make Latitude stamps Inova classy. Dynamic, I think, could be the thought space. More out there stamps, like be a little more electric with your stamps, right? Have some fun. And then West Side, I think, could be your experimental brand because realistically, not that many people throw West Side. The molds are solid. I just don't really see that much.
Yeah.
And then Casaplast, I think, is your high-end brand. And Discmania is an interesting one because the Inova and Trilogy like never really collided.
Yeah, it's a very weird one.
So like Discmania, I think you try to make everyone forget you own them as much as possible.
That is another strategy. Is you could I mean, it sounds like they're already trying to with that article, but like you could just be like, okay, Discmania is big enough on its own legs, anyways. We just need to kind of like slowly let people forget that we exist.
Well, in my opinion. Look, it's not rocket science, right? If you have someone like Thomas Xtram, I think is the main guy at Latitude, I believe is his name. Mm-hmm. He is surely smart enough to figure out how to make C-line plastic, like champion plastic.
Yeah.
You think?
Now, for some reason...
Maybe not with robots.
Now, they probably love... I'm sure Inova use robots nowadays. They probably like Lucid more than C-line champ, right? Because why else would you choose that if you... You know what I'm saying? You want to put the best product out there, so they like Lucid more. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, Discmania, our goal is it's going to feel nothing like Trilogy plastic. We're going to make it as close to Star and Champion plastic as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like, however that works.
They're trying.
Well, S-Line, they got a long way to go.
I do wonder, like...
C-Line, they at times are close. S-Line, I mean, burn the ships and start over. We're not close to Star yet.
The plastic thing is weird because... if you look at like the golf club market, they're changing materials so often, or like trying at least. They did for a while. Now they've kind of like settled in where it's like, okay, we have carbon fiber. It's kind of the best, and we have this and that. But like the plastic thing is so weird because it's so easy to make new blends and like try different things. If I were a disc golf company, I would be pushing a new blend of plastic every single year because people will buy it. I mean, we're seeing Discraft probably be the leaders of that, at least with their jawbreaker stuff. Especially recently. But it's not that difficult. You'll get people riled up. They'll buy it.
But they're all still so similar.
But
there's so many possibilities.
But like Z jawbreaker,
but that's
I don't buy plastic at full price ever. For 5 years, I haven't bought plastic at full price unless I'm buying a stamp for Inova. I went out of my way to buy Z and ESP jawbreaker.
It doesn't even matter if it's the same or if it turns out similar. People will still buy it.
It has to look different.
No, I'm not saying from a consumer part. I'm saying that, like what you're saying, it's so easy to vary plastics. But for some reason, they don't experiment enough because they're all still so similar.
Right. Well,
the focus is on molds right now.
If you look at Trilogy, it's like, okay, they came out with the Supreme plastic, and like maybe they're just like super conscious about quality control, but like they've been using the same. This year they've really, like, I think a lot of companies have been getting into it more because they've done like the Lucid Ice Orbit. The Orbit thing kind of started it up a little bit, I think, again. Mm-hmm. But for a while there, everybody was kind of settling in it. And I actually, as I'm saying this, thinking about it, I think Trilogy is kind of taking on this model more this year because they did like the Frost plastic, but I'd keep doing that because
they have to come up with plastic for 8
you're just
gonna
keep
but then you get
true. The name committee is sweating. They're like, what are we gonna call this one?
That's what I'm saying. Is you gotta lean in of a one plastic.
Like an SNL skit.
It doesn't have to be one. It doesn't have to be one for all. We come up with Supreme plastic. There is a company that gets this plastic.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you give it to Trilogy, then like Trilogy, if you want to keep operating them as one, but like
so confusing.
That's the
giving
hard
them
thing.
to everything is.
I'm like a pretty knowledgeable guy whenever it comes to disc. I would say I'm above average with disc knowledge, and I still don't know what plastic goes to what company.
Let's try to name all the.
Name the see-through plastic of all 3 companies for Trilogy.
I mean, okay, so Lucid,
good.
Yeah. For Dynamic.
Yep.
And then.
Latitudes.
Latitudes is I've never been good with Latitudes and names. I've just never really been interested in Latitude at all.
Like a Claymore. What plastic does a Claymore come in?
Latitude and West Side.
West Side's always the hardest for me.
Yeah, I had to be reminded of it last week.
I will admit I've never really been a Trilogy person. This was a bad idea for me to bring this up. I feel like I know.
I'll give you the 2 options for Latitude. It's gold or opto.
Oh yeah, it's opto. Duh, opto the river.
You're wrong. It's not gold. It's VIP.
No, that's West Side. Dum. Westside's VIP.
No, you
and
said
tournament.
to see through for all three.
No, I said Latitude. I'm giving him 2 options: gold or Opto.
I thought you were talking about
and then Westside's VIP or tournament.
Call me a dum-dum. I thought we were still talking about the see-through.
I was like, he was so confident. He was just blatantly wrong.
Yeah,
no,
I thought we were talking about the see-through.
I was saying like Fusion.
No,
is gold.
gold is the one that I forget all the time.
Yeah.
That one. And then the other one that's
now,
really weird.
what if I hit you with Lucid Ice Orbit Chameleon?
That is the best part is they just do
and then
like
you have Fluid, you have Frost. I don't know what Westside's version of Frost is. Supreme and Royal.
Is dynamic, right?
Supreme's dynamic. Royal line is Latitude. Westside doesn't have it yet.
Don't have it.
Oh.
You got to retool those molds. It's expensive, man.
They're waiting for the new Matty O disc, and they're gonna have the same plastic, but they're gonna call it something
Pedialyte. Pedialyte Harp.
That's such a fun plastic.
Because the baseline ones are classic.
Now we're getting too far.
I'm gonna name.
Classic and Prime.
No, Prime
and Classic.
Yeah,
both
Prime,
baseline.
Classic, Retro, BT.
Nope, Retro and BT are 2 different companies. No, that's both.
That's both
What's Latitude?
That's both.
No. BT is Westside because BT hard harps.
I don't know that Latitude has a
They have to.
putter that's like pro line, like Classic.
They have to. They have to have a name. That's.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I have been selling these plastics for 5 years. And I don't know them.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is we know a lot about this, and I can't even get them straight. Like,
pull up the chart. What is? It's like if you have a Sense. No, what's the Sense plastic?
That's
Royal Sense. That's like the new Royal.
Yeah, that's the new Royal one.
What the heck?
What's a Pure? What's a Pure come in? Moonshine Pure.
Oh my gosh! I feel so stupid right now. And I haven't. The one I had in my bag was.
I thought the plastic was Moonshine.
Well, it is, but there's a.
Medium. They do like medium and they just do medium, hard, and soft. I think that's what they call.
No, it's got to be something else.
Because I think
it's not Moonshine Medium. It's Moonshine something. Yeah, you're right. Zero.
So it's like 0 medium or 0 hard.
What does that mean? What is it?
So they have Retro, 0, Opto. Let me just read you all their plastics, okay? Because I have the whole plastic.
This is just Trilogy in general?
No, this is just Latitude.
Just Latitude?
This is just Latitude. Okay, buckle up. Opto, Gold, Frost, Opto X, Gold X, Bio Gold, Opto Ice, Gold Ice, Opto Air, Grand, Sense, Opto Moonshine, Retro, 0 hard, 0 medium, 0 soft.
Yeah, because
you are kidding.
Grand and Sense.
You
What's
are
the 2 different
me.
Royal plastics for
Why
Dynamic?
so many
Supreme and what's the other
Optos?
one?
I think they're both just Supreme because the Supreme Judge.
Roll down.
No, this is
That's
just
the thing.
Latitude.
You make it so overwhelming for people who are newer to the sport. You make it overwhelming for me.
I know, like
I've been playing for like 7 years.
I've never really been caught in a place where I didn't know plastic types until like the last few years.
Yeah, exactly.
And Trevor's the one pushing them to get more.
Yeah, but I think what I want him to do is make more, but then discontinue other ones because.
So maybe I don't.
Okay,
know
so
what they
Dynamic has all of them together.
I'm kind of questioning everything I said now.
Yeah,
because I feel overwhelmed because Trilogy is
they've been doing it.
Trilogy is just the exception lately, man. They've been going hard in the paint.
Origio is Westside's baseline.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Like really baseline, and then you have BT that's like 0 and Classic,
yeah.
And then you have Mega Soft that's like their super softs, and Revive, Bio Gold, Fusion Biofusion, Elasto Frostline Fluid, VIP Air, Opto Air, Lucid Air, VIP Opto Lucid, Tournament Gold Fusion, Moonshine. I think they're all just Moonshine. There we go. They're all just Moonshine.
There we go.
They all agreed that Moonshine was like such a fun way to do a plastic.
They don't have their Supreme plastic in here.
Just look up the
Supreme
Judge.
Trilogy's confusing. Trilogy has always been a bear that I don't want to poke.
Images. I think it's just called the Supreme Judge. Classic Supreme. So they just stuck with their baseline name.
Yeah.
Stuck.
The Trilogy people are coming after us hard in the comments right now.
That's fine.
You guys.
And they are strong.
You guys are in a cult.
It is. That's how it always felt like whenever I was like growing in disc golf was that people who threw Trilogy were like in a cult.
Well, that's how MVP felt like that too.
I'm so conflicted
because like few people had a Trilogy disc in their bag. No, their bag was all Trilogy.
Here's the thing too. MVP, they have MVP Axiom Streamline, but all 3 are Neutron.
Yeah.
Well, but the problem is,
Cosmic
it's
Neutron.
very conflicting because you have this situation where we're like, they need to have individual brands in order for it to make sense. But then it's like we're so confused that we're like, we need them to have the same.
Well, no, but the problem
names.
is Trilogy. Because listen, we didn't just talk about Castoplast and Discmania in there because those are so separate in our mind.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it that way. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because
keep
I don't want
to.
I don't want to be like so. It's Lucid, Opto, C-Line, K1, and VIP.
Yeah,
that's where we're gonna get.
That was impressive.
Thank
I'm
you.
impressed.
That was impressive.
You got to keep it separate because like Trilogy, it's going to take years to separate those from people like me's mom.
Decades even for me.
Yeah. Maybe even decades.
I think I'll lose my memory before I even
So you have two ways to go.
I think Trilogy just gave me dementia.
Trilogy, you can go two ways. You can either, and they need to decide fast.
Now. Give them an ultimatum. Tell them when.
Tomorrow.
By the end of tomorrow. You have 24 hours.
They either have to.
Or else.
They either have to like really split and like, no, these are 3 separate companies, or just they're all Lucid. They're all classic. I mean, Dynamic's the one I'm most comfortable with, but
given your ultimatum.
They're all Latitude. I feel like is the OG, so they're all Opto, just like an Opto felon.
I know Latitude's the OG, but in my head, Dynamic was always like the king of the roots.
Dynamic was marketed to the U.S. a lot heavier.
Let's pick which ones would we like want to keep of the Trilogy plastics.
Dynamic's the one I know the best.
Yeah, Dynamic. I feel like.
But
Opto sounds cooler than Lucid.
Opto does. Gold also sounds better than Fusion.
Lucid sounds cooler than Opto.
Lucid makes more sense.
Yeah, I like Lucid.
Opto because you can see through it. Optical. We can all agree VIP and Turn are the worst.
They're terrible.
So West Side's gone. So now we're just between Opto and Lucid, baby.
I like Lucid. I think Lucid sounds cooler.
You would, dude.
Oh, my bad.
Well, let's look up the definition of the name. Lucid.
What does that ever matter,
probably
dude?
literally means like see-through.
Inova says
expressed clearly, easy to understand.
Clearly, clear.
Wow.
Opto definition.
It's like having a lucid dream.
Opto is combining the combined word from optic or vision. So Opto doesn't really mean
it's not
a real word, which I kind of like more. You don't have to worry about it.
That's cool. They came up with
their own word, and it makes sense.
What about Lopto?
Sweden?
What about Loopto?
Good question.
Yeah, it might be a Swedish
what
word.
about Austed?
Nope.
No, that didn't work.
Let's stick with Loopto.
Loopto.
Yeah.
Loopty.
Loop-de-loop. All right, back to Lone Star. Speaking of confusing plastic, Lone Star, I just want to give a brief update because Lone Star's marketing team did run with the dog thing.
Love that.
They put it on the homepage of their website, made a post about it. Thumbs up, Lone Star.
Good
thumbs
spin.
Up. We
My
heart
man
you.
Josh at Lone Star.
Yeah.
Come on, Big Josh.
Great spin. Loved it.
Josh Hobson.
I also want to see a picture of that dog in a Lone Star beanie. Nope, not beanie. Bandana.
Bandana.
Come on.
Yep.
Let's go, guys.
Next up, you might have seen my tweet about a little rumor action. Off-season rumor.
We're dishing.
Rumor time.
We're dishing? Oh.
I got a DM over on the Instagram.
Oh, I love it when a story starts like that.
And that's why this is a rumor, because if I trusted this person,
It's in my brains.
if I knew this person, then it wouldn't be a rumor. It would just be truth.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know this person, so therefore it's a rumor.
Okay.
Because allegedly someone played with Emerson Keith.
Hunter's throwing himself into the crucible right now again.
Allegedly, someone played with Emerson Keith at a tournament or at a course, whatever. He was on a card with Emerson
Course
Keith.
Conquest?
And Emerson told him that he has signed with Inova this offseason.
That's crazy.
So Emerson Keith to Innova is the new rumor. Again, only a rumor because I don't know this guy. If I knew the guy, then it's not a rumor because it's
I
from
don't like
Emerson's
that.
mouth.
I don't like it.
It does seem...
Emerson to Innova?
No,
I feel like he's going to play really well there.
I think so. Well, obviously the discs are better.
He probably grew up throwing it like we all did.
But like,
he's our age.
At the end of the day, it's just like I feel like he goes in there and just gets like a drop in the bucket, and then Emerson is no more.
I don't know. He's a Pro Tour winner. He's won the OTB Open.
Yeah, you're right. I just feel like it's so easy to blend in at Innova. It's so easy to blend in.
I don't think so anymore, really.
Really?
There's just not a lot of them left anymore.
True, that is very
Innova's
true.
big teams either gone or not really playing. Like Big Germ still plays, but he's not really on lead card. Sexton, same thing.
Calvin and Joel Freeman are kind of their
Yeah,
dogs.
you have Calvin, you have Joel Freeman, and then you have Evelina Solon and Hannah Blomroos, Haley King. So like, if
Innova's kind of boring.
If
these
Emerson
days.
Keith gets out there and does what he's capable of and pops off a little bit, it could be a
Innova-
really good sign.
Innova is
Innova
boring
used to have
these
like
days.
the bad boy teams, man. They had like everybody.
Well,
They're-
they
even
kept
their
a lot of
discs are
them.
boring-
They
kinda
kept a
boring
lot
these
of them,
days.
but the problem
Dang,
is
dude.
they all got old.
Yeah.
So like Big Germ and Sexton, they've moved on to the next parts of their career, which is commentary, where the commentary and content is where those guys shine, and they're doing incredible at it. And then you have Heimberg's in the prime of his career, but you still got Philo on the team.
But now we're gonna have Emmer Daddy.
I just kind of view Innova as like the place that you go,
That's a deep
and then
sigh.
like
It was a yawn sigh.
I just
Like a
kind of feel
double.
like Innova is the place where like you sign with Innova, and then the next spot that you move to is assisted living.
Is that what happened to Paul?
Yeah,
I'm gonna place a lot.
NAB.
I gotta place a lot of stock in that rumor though, because who would make something like that up? That's way too random.
Yeah, it is random.
Yeah,
Like I played with, like who's gonna make that up?
A liar.
a lot of people could. That's why it's a rumor.
But it's Emerson Keith.
A lot of people could. I did verify this guy is from Texas. At least did that much.
Look at his tournament history.
No, it was his buddy.
Oh.
No,
it's a rumor.
Not a buddy.
It's a rumor.
It's a rumor.
That's why we have the TMZ hats on.
Here's my stock. We're taking it out of that rumor. No, I still believe it.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Announcement will probably happen after we finish filming, anyways.
Hey, that's why these hats are on.
My head is getting squeezed.
If this hat was on, it's truth. This hat, rumor.
Rumor has it.
For those of you that can't see, then they are wearing TMZ.
All right, we're
hats.
stepping back into the truth world.
They are taking off the hats.
We're back into truth realm.
They are now wearing their normal hats.
All right. No cap now.
Oh, well,
Hunter
you guys are
now
wearing a cap.
cutting off my hand with a chainsaw. Nice.
Yep.
Almost broke the audio.
You can't say
Hunter,
we have truth hats on. I just got us demonetized.
Yeah, Hunter's pulled out a knife.
That actually happened.
All right, it's time for the fan favorite segment, Trevor's Trivia.
What's up, guys? Give me some hype in the chat.
Hype in the chat.
Hype in the chat.
Actually give him hype in the chat because there was one mean comment last week.
Really?
One, yeah.
About trivia?
About trivia.
What was the trivia last week?
I don't know. No, it was just saying that he was like,
if you're typing a comment that's
he didn't
mean
know
right
why
now,
I called it
you're
the fan
mean.
favorite segment because he didn't like it. This one person.
Oh, that's fair.
If you are typing a mean comment, you're a mean guy.
Stop it.
You're mean.
Stop it, or
I got called mean this weekend.
I don't think people.
I did
on Twitter. Are you being mean
on Twitter? No, it's from the dog thing.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, you weren't being mean about that.
He's trying to get everyone to boycott Foundation because I laughed at a dog getting sponsored. My bad,
dude. That was me.
That's really insensitive to those of us who lost their dogs, Hunter.
This game is called How Old Is That Disc Golfer?
35.
Ba-doom.
This is perfect timing. We were just talking about this.
I know, it's come up a lot. Here we go. So I've got a list of, let's see, 2, 4, 6.
Hey,
I'm not very good at
12 disc golfers. You guys will go one after another. So you'll each get 6. See who can win. So you can get the most, get within the most years. Now,
is this closest without going over, or just close?
Just closest.
Close to the
article I used was an article from 2021. So I obviously added 2 years, but it's based off of all these players are either this age now or will turn this age before the end of the year.
Okay,
so
love
most of them probably are this age, but if not, they're going to turn it. So
I
almost guaranteed that I'm going to get one of these embarrassingly wrong.
So it should
like
be
by 10
factual,
years.
But if it's not, it's Ultiworld's fault.
There's a website out there now that you can just, I don't know what it is, or else I'd tell you, but you can just look at
playerage.com.
Well, in theory, this should be accurate.
Yeah, but there's a website
I
that
looked up a couple to fact
made it their goal to like list every player's age.
It's difficult with some of them.
Let's do it.
All right, who wants to go first?
Konner does.
Oh, okay, I'll go first.
Connor, you have Chris Dickerson.
Chris Dickerson.
He could be 19. He could be 45.
I'm going to go with, not going to overthink it, 32.
I like that. That was a good guess.
He is 28 years old.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
He looks a lot older because of that
beard. Yeah.
Hunter, you do get the softball, Paul McBeth.
Oh.
Although I had kind of lost track of
Hunter
him.
knows exactly how old Paul McBeth is.
He should.
He should.
I'm doing math, guys.
I lost a little bit of track.
I know how old Paul McBeth is.
I know his birthday's in August. Nope. His birthday's in July.
It is in July.
And he was born in 1989.
Well, it doesn't matter when his birthday is, remember. Because
it does.
No, it doesn't, because anybody...
Well, for me, it does.
Oh.
I want to get this right. 89, 20 years, 2009.
As long as they turn that age this year, it counts.
So then you have to add 14 more years. He is 34.
He is 33.
Ah!
That's what I was going to say.
He was born in 90. He was born in 90. Thought it was 89.
Because I remember Yep.
My bad.
There you go.
My bad, Paul.
Off by
Dummy.
Next.
I'm sorry, Hunter. You're not a
Big Con.
Come on.
Matty-O.
Matty-O. Okay, so I see him and Chris Dickerson being similar. Chris Dickerson was 28. I'm giving Matty-O.
That was a good drone impersonation.
Thank you. 30 years old.
He's got to be older.
He's 36.
Yeah.
Oh! Matty-O, you dog!
He
he was on lead card when I was born.
Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. You're
I'm
right.
disappointed in you, man.
Oh. I didn't know it had to be like
a tough
that.
one.
I can't really say anything because I was given a softball.
Hunter, you got Mason Ford.
See, now that one's hard.
That's a tough one.
20. Let's say he's probably younger than me. 25.
He's 26.
Okay.
Wrong.
My age. I should have guessed my age.
Big Con.
I'm two. I am
Haley
two.
King.
Haley King is...
Man, Konner, I feel like Connor's getting a way harder list so far.
I think that she's 23.
I like that guess.
She's 21.
Okay, not a bad guess.
Dadgum, Haley. She's so
younger
tall.
than I thought. Hunter.
You stopped growing at like 18.
Hunter Sarah disc golfer, Katrina Allen.
She's older than I think. 35.
If that's what you think, then she's older than that.
She's the big 4-0.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
That I shouldn't have expressed that. I'm sorry. I just had guessed 35.
No, well, you didn't express anything
Konner.
wrong. It should be. It's good that you thought she was younger than
That's
she
true.
was.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
No, you're surprised by how old she is. That's good.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you. I was scared for my life.
Konner, you got Ella Hansen.
92. Get it? That's not
Are
me
you
saying
keeping
it.
score?
I was making a joke.
Okay.
Ella
I
Hansen.
am. This is the fan favorite segment.
You're just really good at it. You're doing it so
I'm
fast.
so quick at math.
Ella Hansen. I'm gonna go with 27. I don't know.
She's 27.
Wow, Konner.
That was the hardest one on my list. That one.
I thought she was younger.
I thought she was younger as well.
I
That was a
felt good
very
about
tough
that.
one.
That's why I said it.
Wow, very good. Hunter,
We gotta be close now.
Well, we'll see after this one.
Okay.
You have Ezra Aderhold, just because then you both have gone the same amount.
I have no idea how old Ezra is.
I think he's younger than us. Or younger than me.
Is he?
He's probably close to your age. I'm going to say 25.
He's 26.
2 in a row. Two out of my last 3.
Dang,
He's still winning by
man.
4.
Okay.
Okay. 2 more each. Konner,
Okay.
you have Greg Barsby. Greg Garsby.
Greg Arsby.
Greg Arsby.
You gave it to me. What the heck? Greg Barsby. I think that he is younger than I think he is.
I just love hearing you guys.
Because I want to say he's like 55. He gives me 55-year-old energy.
Golly.
But I think that he is much younger than I think. I'm gonna go in the middle. I'm gonna go 43.
That's tough.
He's
43.
He's Brody's age.
Yeah, he's 36.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot. I remember that now. Because in my head, he looks like a 43-year-old. I have no shame in saying that. He looks like a 43-year-old.
So I just never that.
I'm not gonna laugh at you.
In the disc golf world, that is old.
If I didn't know he was Brody's age, I probably guess 40,
I remember
42.
now. I knew that I was
in the upper 30s,
I knew
but-
we were surprised by something,
dude.
but I couldn't remember what it was.
All right, Hunter, you got Missy Gannon.
25.
She's 35. You thought she was only 25?
Everybody, get him, laugh at him,
I just threw a guess out there. She seemed young. I thought she was in.
Wow, come on, Hunter. Oh my god.
I guess I thought she was like 26, 27, so I thought it'd be funny if I guessed 25 again and she was like
I would not have
older.
placed her at 35, to be clear. I would have placed her right around 31, 32.
Had I thought about it, I probably went like 29.
It is now a 1 point
28.
game going into the last.
Thank you,
That
Hunter.
was crazy,
I needed
dude.
that.
25.
I just yelled
She's
so
the youngest.
much, my
She's the
throat
youngest
hurts.
35-year-old I've ever seen.
Dude, Hunter just thinks the best of everybody.
You think Missy Gannon looks 35?
No.
No.
I said
I
I
do
would
not
put her.
think she
I would
looks
have placed her at
35.
31, 32.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
I do
Hunter,
stand by Greg Barsby's 43 years old.
Hunter perceives women as much younger than they are.
That's great.
That's great
it's
for
a
him.
Good trait. Weird thing to bring up, but
Yeah,
it's
don't.
good.
Konner, James Conrad. This is your last one.
James Conrad.
James Johnrad.
James Johnrad is.
This is big.
Come here, James.
What?
I think that James Conrad. Holy mess. I'm going to say that he is 29.
You know what's funny is that's exactly what I would have guessed. I was thinking about it in my head and I was like, what would I guess James at? And I was thinking 29. He's 33.
Pretty close.
Older than I would have thought.
yeah.
Okay.
I got to be within 5 of this one.
If you're within 5, if you get 5, you tie.
Yeah.
So your last one is Emerson Keith. I think you can probably get within 5.
I'd hope.
Oh, he's kind of deceptive.
26.
He's 25.
Dang it! The one time I don't guess 25.
You win. I will say Konner had a pretty tough draw there.
Yeah,
I wasn't really like.
That's
Ella
okay.
Hansen
Hey,
at
I did
27,
decent.
that was
I did a
impressive.
decent job.
Good job, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Good job.
All right, we're going to do a quick little college disc golf check-in.
Oh, come on.
It's young.
College disc golf has kicked off. And
Party on the dorms.
So we're going to start with the
Bobcats.
We're just going to look at the like men and women's power rankings because I don't really know what else to do for the check-in. But the season's underway. Cincinnati holds on to their number 1 spot. Oklahoma Christian moved up 29 spots to number 2. Overrated? You tell me. Number 3. Normally, when I see someone move up 29 spots, I immediately go, "That's a fraud rating."
Or
but that
maybe
could just be
all like people forgot about it.
That could just be my like fake. College disc golf rankings used to be so fake that you couldn't trust a word they said.
I'm guessing they just won an invitational with like half those teams there. I'm guessing that's what happened to move them up like that.
Maybe
they must have.
Well, the tough part is like Liberty hasn't played. No, they played 1. And they're down 7. Yeah. Oklahoma Christian 2nd. Illinois State 3rd. Northern Arizona, I think is the thing, 9th.
I love these schools.
NC Charlotte moved up 37 spots to 5th.
Oh!
Wow.
Colorado State moved up 27 spots to 6th.
Dude, no.
Ferris State moved up 25 spots to 7th. Wisconsin Platteville up 58 spots to 8th.
How are they all moving up so much?
It's because they hadn't played yet.
A lot of teams haven't played.
Okay. So they're all just getting launched into the
like, for
standings.
instance, Emporia State's dropped 15 spots to 17th.
Dang.
They're a top 5 team.
They have to be.
Okay.
They almost won the national title, man.
Yeah. They just haven't played, I would imagine.
Dude, never forget that.
Clemson is in 9th, and then rounding out the top 10 is North Texas.
North Texas, baby, the mean green machine.
Here's the thing is like you can't really look at this and see if it passes the eye test because all it takes in college disc golf is like 2 really strong players and you are a top 10 team.
We know about
so like Oklahoma Christian, they could be the number 2 team in the country.
We know about the OHIO. We know about them.
They're in 11th. Ohio State is.
Yep.
Top 20 women's team. We'll go over the top 10.
Dynasty.
Missouri, which they did just lose, I believe. They're one of their top 2. I think Alexis. Yeah, she actually works for college disc golf now, I think.
How about it?
So it'll be interesting if they can hold on. Oklahoma Christian, new dynasty, it seems. They're also number 2
dude.
on the on
what
women's
is
side.
Oklahoma Christian building out there in Oklahoma?
Something. Liberty number 3, Brigham Young, BYU number 4.
They have the national champ.
Yeah, I don't know if she graduated. UNC Charlotte also building a dynasty. Number 5, Milligan, Coach Tim Barr over there. Number 6, Bowling Greens in number 7, Southern Arkansas number 8, Oklahoma State number 9, and Great Lakes Christian new to the rankings, new team to 10.
Deglo University.
Sounds like it. Then the individual. Now I wanted to highlight the individual rankings mainly because Cincinnati got stronger. The new number 1 ranked player in the world for college disc golf is a freshman, I believe, Ilkin Groh at Cincinnati.
He's disgusting.
Wow.
So Cincinnati, number
That's
1.
Helpful. They got many years with them.
Then you also have Eli Swanson,
He's
number
a one and done,
number
man.
2.
He's a one and done.
Benji Zorn for Ferris has moved up 7 spots to number 3. You have 2 new additions, Frank Smith and Travis Willis, number 4 and 5. Tanner Young, last year's individual and team champion from Cincinnati, is number 6. Cincinnati's going to be tough to beat. Then you have Hatcher Mason, number 7 in the world. Jackson Holland, Marcus Cathy, Benjamin Wagner rounded out. Main reason I wanted to bring this up, though, was Ilkin Groh, number 1. And number 2, they're snubbing our boy Clayton Lewis. They put him number 18 in the world.
That's ridiculous.
Number 18. He's a top 5 player.
And he is... Nope. Continue.
He's a top 5 player. He's a top 5 player. So just give him time. You'll understand.
I think it's because he doesn't have a marketable nickname. Let's think of one.
Clay Dog.
The Clay Dog. I was going to go straight to Clay
I was trying
Dog.
to think of someone with darts.
Oh.
Clay Dart.
What's that famous dart thrower? Michael Van Gerwen?
Michael Van Clayton.
Michael Van Clayton.
Clayton Van Dergwen.
Let's just search best dart thrower of all time.
It's Michael Van Gerwen, dude. I'm not even kidding. Well, I don't know about all time, but he's like the guy.
Michael Van Gerwen.
Yeah, Michael Van Gerwen.
So I think we go Michael Van Clayton.
Michael Van Clayton.
Everybody will get it. It's marketable. I love it. The youngsters know it.
Michael Van Clayton. That's so funny. Oh, my God.
All right.
He's like the Michael Van Gerwen of disc golf.
10 million likes on this podcast episode, and we'll make a Michael Van Clayton disc.
And then women top 5, we have Taylor Rowley, who won last year. She is back.
Clayton throwing that.
Oh, I
Ilkin
lied.
Groh guy.
Alexis Kerman is number 2 in the country, so she must be back too. And then Lily Marr from
Part-time.
Michigan,
Is
number
that conflict
3.
of interest? Is she working for college disc golf?
Who knows? You still got to play. Cece, who's on Team Atlas, actually, is number 4, Wisconsin. And then Hope Brown rounds out number 5, Alabama.
Cool.
Little college disc golf check-in.
That was fun.
We had nothing else to talk about, so we just kind of threw the rankings in there. But if there's tournaments that are going on, we'll probably try to cover those here and there. I think there was some tournaments going on. I should have covered them. So.
Oh, do we have something to talk about? Do you mind if I do a segment?
Let me clarify one thing, and then I'll throw it to Konner for Connor's segment.
All right, good.
Yeah, we do have Konner.
We just launched the Foundation Creator Academy on Friday. Really well received on Instagram, not so well received on Twitter. I just wanted to clarify one thing that apparently people who didn't like this couldn't listen to. It's free, so you don't have to worry about the main thing that was pushed back on Twitter was people were expecting it to calling it a cash grab and all this stuff.
They're called a bunch of scammers. It's free, guys.
Free. So basically, we've had hundreds of people apply so far. We're going to only accept probably like 20 to 30 because we want it to be like a tight-knit community. And then,
we're actually never going to be nice again.
No, we'll be nice to them, though. The 30 they get accepted. Yeah. But we're going to accept like 20 or 30 into it. They'll get into the Discord. And then over the course of the next year, every month we'll have creators come in, give like a 30 to 60-minute basically breakout session on whatever topic. We'll talk through, what we're learning, some books, what has helped us get to where we're at, what we've seen other people get to where they're at, have people come in and message in the Discord, and then it's just a community where everyone can bounce ideas off of each other, the like 30 creators that are trying to get better. So we're super excited about it. But apparently some people on Twitter were not too excited about it. So I just wanted to clarify that it's free. So that at least, because all the haters listen to this podcast,
State Farm
obviously.
Commercial where he's like, well, she's a guy, so like the Jake from State Farm, the original one, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
It's like, how could you be charging it? Like, well, it's free, so.
Yeah, I was just constantly responding to comments on the weekend. I was like, people were just like, well, anyone who pays money for this deserves to be grifted. I was like, I agree, because it's free, so they wouldn't be paying money to us.
Who are they paying?
So whoever they're paying, they do deserve to be grifted.
New segment.
It's
time for Konner's Fun Fact of the Day.
This is very loud in my ears.
Welcome to Fun Facts with Konner's Fun Fact of the Day, brought to you by Break 86, brought to you by Harbor Freight.
The Harbor Freight. Have you thought of that yet?
That's hilarious, Hunter.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so today's fun fact.
Popped in and did a fun fact.
Today's fun fact, we have a Instagram post by a certain professional disc golfer.
Okay.
This fun fact is that there is a professional disc golfer that is near and dear to many people's hearts who gave up on at least the social aspect of one of his dreams and aspirations. And I just gave away that it's a man, and that's okay. That's now part of it.
Is it a trivia question?
Is it a trivia question or a fun fact?
This is a fun fact.
Okay.
So this person in 2016 posted a picture on their Instagram of a drawing. Beautiful drawing. It's gorgeous. And a moving caption with it that says, "This is the most patient I've ever been with a drawing. Drawing is teaching me how impatient I am. I'm determined to better my art skills. I feel like this is a good start." And it was a start and an end, because in all of these years of being very active on social media, no drawing has ever been posted since then.
Is that me?
No.
Oh.
So, as part of this fun fact, I will now give you the opportunity to each have one guess as to who you think it might be.
I just guessed it was me.
Well, you can have another one.
Simon Lizotte.
No.
Ricky Wysocki.
No. This player is Eagle McMahon.
That makes sense.
Hunter, I'm surprised you don't know it, because
Was it the
this post
roly-poly-oly?
is liked by Hunter Thomas FDG.
Hunter be liking stuff.
Well, Eagle did
So
go
what's
through
the fun fact?
That he gave up on his art dreams.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Eagle McMahon was an artist that gave up on his dreams.
I
My
just
fun
assumed
facts will be very loose.
that was my freshman year of art school. So I just assumed I posted a picture of
That's
something
funny.
I drawn, and I was like, yeah, I never
I
posted
feel
my
like
picture
that
again.
sticks out to me. What was the picture of?
It was like a Japanese style drawing
Was it
of
good?
waves. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah,
I feel like I remember that.
it's very cool. So, come on, Eagle.
Yeah, let
Share
this
with
be a
us.
call out to
What are your
Eagle.
drawings like now? Do you still draw? Tell us about it. We want. It was a good start, but where did it go?
Watch this whole time he's had a separate Instagram page.
Called like Eagle Draws.
Oh, that'd be dope.
draws.
That'd be dope, jabroni.
All right, it's time for another segment of favorites of fans. Disc golf in the bag. Trevor won last week. Basically, what we do here is
Give
we
me that.
build
Sick
our
job,
bag
Trev.
based
Give me
on the
that.
topic of 4 quote-unquote discs that are responding to that topic. You'll understand it when we start going.
I came up with 10.
This one is disc golf-themed sport team names.
Really funny that I went off on this one.
Trevor,
because
you can
I don't
decide
even
the
know
order.
Sports.
I would like to go. I would like to go first.
Okay, who's going second?
And I would like Konner to go second and Hunter to go third.
All right, hit him with it.
I'm going to start out with the Buffalo Black Aces.
Nice. That's good.
Con?
Mine is Miami ESP Heat.
Oh, so you made puns.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It's disc golf.
I like that.
The ESP Heat.
Okay, I have 2 here. I'm going to take the Frisco Firebirds first.
Fun.
Firebirds is a great name. The hockey team used to play growing up was the Lancaster Firebirds.
And then I'm going to go with my second one here. Man, I have to decide. I'm going to go with the Detroit Destroyers.
Nice.
Why Detroit? Just the alliteration.
Alliteration. All I cared about was alliteration.
Same.
Okay, my next one is the Dallas Crush Boys.
That's a great one. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. See, that wasn't just like an obvious pun. That was like you worked for that one.
Trevor?
That's a great one.
I worked for it.
That's very good. Okay, I got 2. I'm going to go with the Charleston Chainbangers.
Nice.
And I'm also going to take the Hershey Heiser Bombs.
Nice. I'm just reading some. My next one is going to be. I have to make sure I say this right. Man Chain Star United.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Oh my gosh, that's
very difficult to say.
That is so good.
That's funny,
dude. Konner, you killed it on this one.
I'm gonna have a lot of honorable mentions if that's okay.
I got
Man Chain Star. Dang it, Konner, that's so good.
I've got my last 2.
You can't make the prompts this open ended.
No, they're great. It's more fun.
Oh my heavens, dude, that's amazing.
I'm going with the Green Bay Gyronauts next.
I like that.
That's good.
And then my last one,
I
think I have to use this one. Some people might not get it, but it's okay. The Michigan Pencil Whippers.
There's an
funny.
inside joke there.
That's really funny.
Not really inside.
Oh, there's an inside joke there.
Is it really inside? I mean, it's national news.
What are you talking about? Wait, what are you talking about?
Pencil whipping's cheating. Michigan. Michigan Pencil Whippers.
I was going a slightly different route. I was thinking MVP Pencil Whipper.
That's a whole different route.
See how I got there?
I do. I was just going with what everyone would get.
I actually understood what you were saying, Hunter.
Michigan Pencil Whippers. Michigan cheaters.
Yeah, as an Ohio State fan, I too remember whenever that state up north cheated.
Here's what I will say. If you're truly an Ohio State fan.
You like how I didn't say the word Michigan because they don't do that.
Yeah. If you're truly an Ohio State fan, you should be terrified because Michigan, I think, is going to go on a tear and win the national championship.
My wife's boss told me that story.
This is just fuel to fire, I think.
All right, here we go. My last one.
They dominated Penn State this weekend. So
I have one more, correct?
Yep, there's your last one.
Yes.
I probably have a lot better than this, but I'm freaking out over which one I should choose, so I'm just going to go with this one. The Los Angeles grip locked my disc into a Lakers.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Would you all caps Lakers for me?
That is funny.
Thank you.
Konner, dude, very good.
Thanks, man.
I didn't even think to go that route. That was a smart way to do it.
Did you all caps Lakers?
I did.
It helps with the delivery, I feel like.
Trevor?
My last one, I'll take the Jacksonville jump putts.
Nice.
It doesn't matter, though, because if you don't vote for Konner's, you're a crime.
Can I give my honorable mentions?
Go for it.
All right. The New Orleans St. Pros.
Oh, my gosh. That's just so funny.
Alabama. Forehand roller tide.
He came up with these in like 10 minutes. I watched it happen.
The San Francisco 4-turn 9 faders.
You should have used that one.
This is the best I've ever heard for anything on the show.
The New York Nick to tree.
Oh, my gosh.
The New York Yankees.
Just
New York Yankees, yeah. And then Ohio State Huckeyes.
Oh my gosh, dude!
The only ones I didn't use.
I wish I would have thought to go that line. I don't think I would have.
Well,
what was it? The 4-turn 9 faders.
Yeah.
I had the thought of like just doing like what you did for the last, whichever one you just left alone. Like the Chargers.
Yeah.
The Heat, but I was like, I don't know. I feel like
no, the Heat one did not get me excited, but every single one after that where you.
Well, but he at least put ESP in there.
That made it exciting.
The only ones I didn't use. The only one I liked of the ones I didn't use was the Anaheim Anheisers. I like that one.
The
rest of mine kind of sucked.
I looked up most popular sports teams.
I say that it's all about
on an article, and then I scrolled and I let my mind run amok.
It's all about what angle you took, and you took the better one, which was going from the sports teams and turning them, because that's way more relatable.
That was fun.
That's so funny.
This all came from the Frisco Firebirds. Came to my mind as a really cool sports team name. I was like, oh, just do disc golf themed sports teams.
That is a really cool
I like
name.
how these all start with Hunter having some weird thought or like misspeaking. I frothed my milk.
Yeah. Hey, it leads us down a fun path.
And he always texts us at like 9 o'clock at night.
Well, that's when I was planning. That's when I was planning group.
I know, it's just funny. Like I get this text. It's like tomorrow's subject. You're like, what's this?
I like whenever I wake up to it. I wake up and the first thing I see on my phone is whatever the subject is for in the back.
That's great. It produced brilliance.
All right. Well,
Konner,
you can vote.
You better vote for Konner.
You can vote over on our Instagram or on our Twitter. And then whoever wins gets to decide next week. That's it. That's it for Grip Block this week.
Cool.
Love you guys so much.
We'll talk to you again, same time, same place next week.
We need to get a lottery ball machine like they do on PMT. That's just so much fun. After every podcast episode, they ask for everybody to give numbers out, and then they just have a ping pong ball lottery machine, and they see if one of them gets it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
But we don't want to copy part of my take.
We'll do something different.
With anything.
Yeah, we never would copy them.
No.
Like that whole segment.
That's it.